Hello Aries friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my February 2020 horoscope report for you. This is a very exciting month where, thank goodness, the sweet aspects far outweigh the salty ones. One of the first things that I look at when I'm trying to see what the tone of the month is going to be like is the ratio of nice aspects to challenging ones. And this month we just have a handful of little mischievous pieces that are sort of drowned out by all of these wonderful aspects. And we really need that because with the squares that we've had with the Capricorn placements in January to our Aries placement, I have Aries rising, so I'm always in this with you. It could have been a very productive time for sure, and some wonderful manifestations could have come from it as well, but I know that it was stressful. And there's less stress in the stars in general, for everybody, and specifically for Aries this month than there was before. So that's very exciting. If you're still in your gung-ho, get everything done, gotta do your launches, blazing forward mode, that is perfectly fine and very relevant to apply to this time because the first week of February is like that last juicy piece before we slip. And actually really starting from around February 2nd, we start slipping into the Mercury retrograde pre-retrograde period. But because the aspects are so sweet that first week of February, I'm kind of having it out on the table for like at least the first 5 or 6 days for you to just keep pushing, do everything you got to do, and then expect to start to relax. When the personal planets are moving through Aquarius, this is really good for Aries. And this is one of the things that is really nice about this month. So starting from the end of January through most of February, expect to have your friendships and your social connections be a wonderful blessing to you. You might connect with people by phone. That can be very refreshing. You could be making plans to see your friends or people in your social groups of any kind, acquaintances. And that can be very refreshing because the story for Aries has been very much about work, pressure, heaviness, manifestation, being on task, and there hasn't been a whole lot of room or time for engaging with other people, having discussions that are enlivening. And so that's going to start to filter in here, which is really exciting. There might still be some news, events, or carryovers from the eclipses that happened in December and January. So most of you, if you were going to have eclipse news, it would have come already, or you'd start to see the direction that it could be going. But some of you might not get that actual news or some of the big pieces until February. So just look out for that. And, this is like a life-changing time. These eclipses, I know for me, I can't even believe what's gone on. I mean, I can because I saw it coming because I used astrology to help me with that, but it's been really, really rough, and really, really sweet and really, really exhausting. As you might be able to see, like I'm completely spent. But in any case, if you've been having that experience, then hopefully you'll look forward to February, as I am looking forward to February, as a time to have a more relaxed pace. If you can jive your energy with the natural rhythm of the retrogrades can be amazing for you. In general, some retrogrades can be challenging for people with Aries placements because we always want to go, 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 go. But if you sync up with the tides moving in and back, then you can have an amazing time. So my plan has been, I'm just going to go 150 miles an hour until the first few days of February. And then after that, I'm planning everything to be more calm, rest, and retreat. And that's how you can align your rhythms. It doesn't mean you can't be productive. It just looks like you have an opportunity to take a slower pace. And if you honor that, then it can be super easy. If you fight it and resist it, then it could be challenging. A lot of things involving money or involving your creativity or involving things with your love life can take a more private tone at this time. And this also started in January and is sort of making its way into February. Venus was in Pisces already, and now Mercury and the Sun are going to go there as well. So all of this energy in Pisces crowds the 12th house of the people with Aries placements. And so this can bring a spectrum of experiences. So the first thing that it can bring has to do with this peace and quiet, this taking some time to yourself, this, creating a sacred space, artistic expressions. Like if the work that you do is not artistic, then you might want to take some time out to just do something that's relaxing just for the sake of itself, that's not work related. And that could be a retreat. Even though people think that Mercury retrograde isn't a great time to take trips, it actually can be. It's just a matter of having flexibility and being open to the changes that may come. But some trips can come last minute. And so when that happens, it's pretty exciting because you really need it. You really need a getaway. You really need some way to relax. Now, while all of this is going on with the personal planet energies, you still have these outer planets that are moving through Capricorn, making those squares to your sign. So like the long-term push and the long-term goals and the long-term pressures are not necessarily lifting, but you're reaching a point at this time in February where you've really earned this and really need this kind of reevaluating everything you've done so that you can move forward with more efficiency and so that you don't burn yourself out. So as the planets start to crowd the 12th house, one of the wonderful things about this, besides what I've just already mentioned with the rest and retreat and quiet and private space, can have to do with like going inward within yourself. And again, this is like Aries energy is very outward. So unless you have strong Pisces placements in your chart or strong other water signs that kind of offset your fire, then it will be hard for you to just kind of get quiet and go within, unless you've trained yourself with a spiritual practice. But this time of the year, Spirit almost forces you to do that. So sometimes things will happen where emotions come into the forefront and then you kind of have to sit with them. Or sometimes something will happen where you just have the opportunity to sit and be quiet, and journal and think and do inner work. And, so things like past life regressions and hypnosis and therapies and meditation are all, and sleeping, like getting good quality sleep. Sometimes when this area gets aspected, sleep is something that comes up as, relevant. So these themes that I'm talking about now for February are also going to be, going into March as well. So anything that you can do to focus on healing your adrenals, healing your sleep patterns are going to be very well placed. Any energies you put there are going to be well placed at this time, when usually you might be placing your energy on outward goals and the bigger picture and, achieving and striving. The goals at this point with the retrograde impending is more like goals closer to you, personal goals, physical goals, health goals, relationship goals, things like that. And that theme is going to really carry for the whole rest of 2020. That's why I've been telling you guys, push as much as you can safely that is in line with your intuition until the first few days of February, because from February until the beginning of 2021, so February 2020 to the beginning of 2021, our main theme is going to be personal planet retrogrades, which are this like catering to the things right in front of you more diligently, working with your relationships, working with your inner world, going back over old projects or old issues or old opportunities. That theme is going to be present for the rest of the year, whereas up until the first few days of February, you've got this like new things, pushing, launches, things like that. But if you pay attention, you'll see the energy is starting to turn inwards. And when you follow it, you'll be well supported. Something that's exciting that I want to talk about has to do with the feminine voice in astrology. So if you've noticed that the astrological archetypes that we use are mostly male energies, and this, of course, is an effect of us being, for the last, thousands of years, in a masculine pole a focus. So we switch the polarities of our focus energetically. We live on a planet of duality, and within the planet of duality, there are cycles that switch back and forth between male energy focus and female energy focus. Now, do note as I'm using these words male and female kind of loosely, because, as we see there's a lot of gray area that is becoming more and more relevant in today's society of the blending of the male and female energies. And part of that is coming from the fact that we're in the process of this pole switch away from a male patriarchal dominance energetically into a female matriarchal dominance energetically. And when you're at that point in between, the blending of the two is the main theme. So as part of this, the star goddesses, there are star goddesses too, besides the moon and Venus, which have the female archetypal energies. All the rest of the planets we talk about are male archetypal energies. But there are female archetypal energies that want to have a voice. So I'm going to be sprinkling in their messages more and more over time. So one of these first ladies of the zodiac that want to speak is Juno. Juno has been given a bad rap because, well, if you look into any mythology that these archetypes are based in, they're all just like a mess. You know, if you look into Greek mythology, Roman mythology, just everything was, it's just comical to me just how terrible it all is. And so, you know, over time, Spirit has helped me to, and of course, I'm an optimist by nature, and I'm looking to this work for self-development and conscious evolution. So I look to see how those storylines, how those mythological stories can be used in this modern day time for the purpose of conscious evolution. So, but the story of Juno, you know, she has sort of like this energy of like, you know, getting back, like revengeful, angry female energy. And that's not how I see her in her positive spectrum, right? Everything in this planet of duality has a positive and negative potential. But as I see Juno moving through the chart, there are some very important messages that she has. One thing to note is that she rules relationships, okay? So there are multiple rulers of the energy of relationship, but she's a female voice in this. And she's in a time where she's in the sign of relationships, okay? So she's in Libra for a very extended period of time. Usually Juno moves through the signs more quickly, but because of her retrograde cycle, from the end of 2019 until around September of 2020, Juno was actually in the sign of relationships. So it's not just marriage that she rules. That, to me, is a misconception based on my studies and what Spirit and Juno has told me. It's all relationships. Okay, marriage, you know, partnerships of any kind, your neighbor, an important relationship with them, your business, your clients, anything like that. It's also your relationship to relationships. So how you do relationship, your relationship to yourself, your relationship to divine. And so for everyone in the zodiac, the storyline of relationships as being very key to getting to where we want to be is a constant that Juno is giving us for this long period of time. But Aries always experiences everything to the nth degree, because when we have, you know, something globally, a planet moving through a certain sign, we also have it moving through the corresponding house, a field of experience in the chart, which makes the lessons that are brought by the planets doubly so for us. So the outcome here of this transit is that for an extended period of time, your key to getting to all of your goals, to having more happiness, to having more fulfillment is in your relationships. And because Aries is so independent, this is like a special area of influence. You might need to ask for help. You might need to delegate. You might need to, you know, get some skills or something from somebody else. And trying to do everything yourself is going to lead to roadblocks and frustrations. And so when you notice that you're stuck, remember this, like, have my words echo in your mind. Is it possible that someone could help me with this? What work can I do to allow in help? You know, how can I accept in support? Where can I look for support? Who already asked me if they can help with this? There are probably people who have said, hey, if you need some help with that, I'll help you. And say, no, I'm fine, right? So just keep in your mind for, you know, till around September 2020 especially, and it's actually going to go beyond then, but we'll use that time frame for now, that if you're not getting somewhere you want to be, you might need to put work into a relationship, or you might need to get help from somebody else. You might need to repair your relationship with yourself, and you might need to repair your relationship with Spirit. Okay, so that is all critical. Now, for those of you who are towards the end of the sign, okay, so that's going to be like, you know, the last 7 to 10 days, or the last 7 to 10 degrees, we'll just say 20 to 29 degrees in the last 10 days of the sign, like towards the end, you're going to have some special focus on getting help possibly with your health, getting help with your business. I mean, for all Aries placements, getting help with any area of life is what is indicated. But for those of you towards the end of the sign, there's also some specific things having to do with your health. You might need some practitioners to help you with your diet, with your meditation practice, with getting organized, with decluttering, things like that. There's a special 6th house tie-in for those of you towards the end of the sign, but all of you have all the other things that I talked about. Okay, so in general, we have a month where Aquarius energies are supportive to you. We've got the energies in Pisces that will bring a little more emotion, a little more presence, need for quiet time, but also the chance that you'll be open to being, just resting and getting some, just relaxation and fun. Your long-term goals are still intact, and you might have made major headway over the last couple of months, enough so that you feel like you can just take your foot off the pedal for a little while, and that could be very well indicated, especially after the first few days of February. You might find yourself consumed with topics having to do with writing, publishing, teaching, speaking, and that's compliments of Mars continuing to move through the sign of Sagittarius, which rules those things, but also for us, the house of Sagittarius. And that's true for all Aries placements. And so you might be planning foreign trips, things with international business. You might find you're consumed with spiritual studies. You might be looking for an education program. Those are kinds of things that Mars is going to bring into your focus that you're very likely to notice that you're thinking about that. Things involving your church, things involving travel, things involving writing, teaching, speaking, publishing are more likely to come into the forefront. If you have to do a launch, like for a book or something like that, and you can't get it in to those first few days in February, you'll have another point at the end. The last few days of March and the first few days of April are actually wonderful as well, and you'll be seeing me come out with something very exciting in that time along the lines of publishing. And so that's kind of like a little bubbling up that we have in between all of this retrograde energy. So if you can't get everything worked out and you need the retrograde from February into March to fine-tune things, to do your editing and polishing, then look towards the end of March and the beginning of April for your launches or decisions or moving forward. Okay, so if you'd like more information about how you can use astrology to help you maximize all of the potentials, I have so many free resources for you. When you go to anniehelpsyou.com, you can sign up for my free email newsletter, which gives you all the sweet dates, all the salty dates, what those aspects are, what you can expect from them, the general tone of the month. And this February newsletter actually has a bonus retrograde addition to debunk some of the myths of retrograde, help you understand the energies that we're stepping into for the rest of the year and very strongly in February and March. And you also get my 28-day virtual coaching program called Shine for free when you sign up for my free email newsletter. If you'd like to be an astrologer as your work or to help yourself or other people without doing it professionally, definitely go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. All the links I'm giving you are also in the notes underneath the video. And you can also go to anniehelpsyou.com to see that class, or a course. But my course has almost 100 modules. I mean, it's very, very comprehensive. You can do it at your own pace, and it can take you from ground zero to professional astrologer if that's your goal, or help you, just be in a wonderland of constant astrological studies, however you want to do that. So you can check that out. You can also go to cozybysweetstarlight.com to get written horoscopes by me a month early, and all kinds of lifestyle blogs that are astrology kissed, including like herbal teas as the sun moves through each sign, yoga as the sun moves through each sign, and other recipes and really fun things like that. And the site cozybysweetstarlight.com is so beautiful, you should go just to see it. So definitely check out my book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life and the World in 28 Days. It's a wonderful support system for you to help you stay on track and help you use the power of affirmation and prayer, along with the moon cycle of 28 days, to bring your greatest dreams into reality and to stay present with the energies and stay connected to the rhythm. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.